I'm sitting next to an empty chair because the guy who used to sit in it is no longer with us. Dave Brower was just 53 years of age when he passed away a month ago in Lexington while working a side gig he really loved at the Red Mile. It's been a tough time for all of us here at the Meadowlands, but as we make our way through that sorrow, there are things I want you to know about Brow. He was one cool dude. Even though he was a Yankees fan and I'm a Mets fan, we always got along. In fact, every Friday and Saturday for the last 5 years, he'd always say, "What time is your game?" And the Yankees wouldn't go on our TV until the Mets were done. But our 35-year friendship went deeper than that. When you spend as much time as we did together, you learn just about everything there is to know about the other guy. He was a foodie, as many of you know. I called him a food snob. I'd go to a chain steakhouse and he'd tell me I had to up my game. We had our yearly hangs for lunch at a barbecue joint, and we'd spend an afternoon at Freehold Raceway before going out for pizza and then ice cream. We had plans to go when he got back from Lexington, and it makes me sad that that will never happen again. When he wasn't busy busting my chops, we had an awful lot of fun on this very set. We'd snack on Swedish fish, lots of them. But more recently, we tried to eat healthier. So he'd bring me a peach or a pear, and I'd bring him an apple. To say our handicapping styles were different would be an understatement. I love to look at the tote board and tell Dave, this horse cannot win at these odds. He'd tell me it made no difference what the odds were. I'd say, really? Then we'd remind each other of our battle cry. We know nothing. And we'd have a good laugh. We laughed a lot. We'd watch the finish of a race and I'd say, wow, that horse was really good. And he'd sneer, no, he wasn't. And then I'd say, well, what do you know? Cue the laughter. Finally, Brow really cared about everyone and was quick to tell you time and again how well you did something. While he was busy doing this year's National Hamiltonian show, it fell to me to work with Scott Zeron on our simulcast event. Brow must have told me 10 times how good I was. I reminded him that Scott was the star and I was merely the host. But he said Scott and I both did great that day, which I really appreciated. That was the essence of Dave Brower. He was the best guy in the room, but it was never about him. It was always about complimenting others. I know how proud he was of everybody connected to our show, and I know every one of us will work as hard as possible to continue to make him proud of us. There will be one final send-off for Dave Brower on November 12th in the Winner's Circle right here at the Meadowlands. So if you were a fan or a friend, come on out and pay a final tribute to someone who meant a lot to me and meant a lot to all of harness racing. Once again, that's Dave Brower's Celebration of Life, November the 12th, 5:30 p.m. Oh yeah, and one last thing. Hey Brow, we'll take good care of the diva, and thanks for letting me watch the Mets game.